Emotional needs men have satisfy them to make him addicted to you. Everybody needs reassurance every now and then, regardless of their age, gender, or the situation they find themselves in. When you are working as hard as you can and you feel like you're pushing yourself past your limits to make deadlines and hit targets, it's nice to have that reassurance from your boss that you're doing a good job and that they appreciate the hard work you're putting in. When you're in a relationship with somebody, especially if it's been a while and you're not set into a routine, you could need some reassurance in different areas. The more reassurance we can give to our partner, then we can leave little to no room for self-doubt or overthinking. You know they say curiosity killed the cat? Well, self-doubt can kill a lot of things too. So it is best to try and avoid this before it spirals out of control. So, without further ado, here are emotional needs men have that they need help with. Needed. From the dawn of time, men have always been told and brought up to be a provider for their partner and families. The sense of being needed for many different things is ingrained in their mind, so when this emotional need is not met, it can throw them off completely and even lose sense of who they are. So, if you ever feel like your man isn't completely into it and his head seems like it's in the clouds, try to meet his emotional need to feel needed and see if that helps. Hey babe, I can't reach this thing on the top shelf. Could you come grab it for me? Hey baby, I need you to go and get this thing from the store for me. Understood. Sometimes being a man can be a very difficult thing. They're taught to suppress their emotions so they can appear more masculine and tough, which then creates internal struggles and mental health issues that surface later on in life. One thing we can do as women to help this from becoming a vicious cycle is by showing men that they are understood. Take the time to sit down with them and listen to them as they explain how they feel. Even if they can't make sense of it, you don't need to make sense of it either. Just listen and try to understand where they're coming from. I'm so sorry you feel like I understand where you're coming from, and if there's anything I can do to help, then please let me know. I would love to help. Supported. Sometimes the world can seem like such a lonely place, even when you're in a crowded room. Men often feel like their partners don't support them when it comes to their dreams and ambitions for several reasons. So, make a conscious effort to sit with him and listen to his goals, and then try to support him the best you can. Of course, if he wants to be the first man on the moon, that isn't achievable. But a man needs a sense of purpose in his life, and 9 times out of 10, he will find that purpose through his career. Try to be supportive when it comes to his goals and ambitions, and I can guarantee he will be obsessed with you. Come on, you want to be a track star? Let's go for a run then. Appreciated. There is nothing worse than putting a lot of effort into something or someone and then feeling like your efforts are going unnoticed. The feeling of being underappreciated can really affect men when it comes to being in a relationship, especially if he feels like he continuously makes you feel appreciated and reminds you often. When he feels appreciated, it can make him feel better about himself, which then starts a cycle of putting more effort in to get that feeling of appreciation again. I appreciate everything you do for me. Loved. This one shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Of course, you want to feel loved by your partner, right? I imagine that it would be a waste of both your time and effort if you didn't love each other. So, if you want your man to be addicted to you, then try to constantly remind him that he is loved and your relationship is strong and for the long run. This emotional need may be buried deep inside their hearts because men often feel like showing their emotions can make them look vulnerable and weak, which is not the case at all. You don't need to keep saying I love you over and over for them to feel loved. You could try different words of affirmation. Try to figure out their love language, and then it will be easier for you to show it and easier for them to receive it. I love you so much. You're doing such a good job. I hope you're proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. Valued. Sometimes when we've been together for so long and we get ourselves into a routine of doing specific things, we can accidentally make our partner feel undervalued in certain scenarios. For instance, if you're so used to being the one that communicates with the school about your children to the point that you don't discuss things with your partner before giving an answer, You can make your partner feel like their opinion about the school issue doesn't matter. To stop this from happening, try to keep the lines of communication open at all times. Make decisions together and talk about things before they become an issue. A relationship is supposed to be a two-way street, not a one-way round, unless you want it to have a dead end. Would you prefer to have a takeaway curry for dinner, or would you like something else? Sexy. Men like it when you make them feel sexy. They can lose their confidence sometimes and need reassurance when it comes to sexual attraction, especially when you've been in your relationship for a while. Sometimes you worry that the spark has fizzled out and your partner is losing interest in you. So, if you can remind your man that he still gives you butterflies, then I guarantee you will see a skip in his step as he starts to feel more confident in himself. Bonus for you too, if he's feeling more sexy and confident, then he's more likely to initiate sex with you. Oh baby, you look so good in that shirt. Strong. I know, it sounds like we're just playing into a man's ego and putting them up on a pedestal, but when you're feeling down and out about yourself, you do need that little boost of confidence to help. One way to boost a man's confidence is to help remind him just how strong he is. Now, this could differ depending on the mood they're in and how they are feeling. They could need reminding that they're physically strong or that they are strong-minded, so it's best to do both at the same time. Two birds, one stone type of thing. There's not a lot of people who could have been through what you've been through and come out the other end. Thank you for carrying the furniture up the stairs, babe. It was too heavy for my dad and brother to do it. Accepted. Nobody wants to feel like they have to change their personality around people in order to fit in and feel accepted. You should never change who you are for other people. Of course, trying to be the best version of yourself is a different story. When a man wants to feel accepted, he doesn't want you to agree with everything he thinks and says. He will appreciate being educated on something he doesn't understand. But to know that you accept him for the person he is will make him feel more confident in himself, and it will encourage him to work on himself more to continuously improve. It's okay that you don't know how to do this. We can learn together. Mystery. Now, this one is a little different from the rest because when you enter into a relationship, the sense of mystery tends to disappear as you get to know each other more and grow together. But it is something that men do have an emotional need for. It could be a part of his ego, but men need to feel as though they are not an open book all the time. The idea that they can get you excited, like those guys in the fantasy books do, is something he wants to feel. Oh, hello, Mr. Handsome. What's going on here? In order to make a man feel like he can't live without you, you simply figure out what emotional needs he has and then fulfill them. You will have him eating out of the palm of your hand in no time. He may even become addicted to you and being around you, in a healthy way, of course. With all of his emotional needs being met, it's no surprise that he will associate you with happiness and joy. Who doesn't want to be around somebody who makes them constantly feel valued and happy? It's a no-brainer. An emotional need is described by science to be a psychological requirement for well-being. So, when you help your man feel happy by meeting his emotional needs, you are doing scientific work in making him happy and fulfilled. Accepting someone for who they are, flaws included, is a pretty big deal for you and him.